Hello, welcome to our latest video. In this video I'm going to talk to you about local SEO. Over the next 20 minutes I'm going to show you tips, tricks and practical measures of how you can use Google and SEO strategies to win new business for your company. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of local SEO, I just want to take a step back for a moment and talk about digital marketing, technology as a whole, and look at its place in the world. So we live in a world where technology is overturning industry at a blinding speed. We've all heard the classic examples of how Uber disrupted the taxi industry, Airbnb disrupting the hotel industry. And then another classic example we've all heard is the one about Blockbuster and Netflix. So Blockbuster used to do video rentals, DVD rentals, game rentals, and they didn't believe that online streaming would ever become a thing. They were heavily focused on the whole experience of coming to the store, renting the DVDs, paying for a rental. But we know how that turned out. Netflix came along, home streaming services came along, and Blockbuster is no more. So the message there is the world moves on, technology moves on, your competitors will move on. You've got to look to adapt and improve your marketing as time goes on. Standing still is as bad as going backwards. You always need to be advancing your strategies, and in terms of marketing, the cutting edge of marketing now is digital. So marketing changes all the time. Before the rise of the internet, if you wanted to find a business, you might look at the phone book. However, nowadays most people have replaced the phone book with online local searches on Google. So if you're not appearing on those searches on Google, you could be invisible to many of your potential customers, and that's the reason why local SEO matters. So let's get into this local SEO, and firstly let's define what it is. So search engine optimization is the process of optimizing a website to ensure that it has the best chance of appearing as high as possible on a search engine such as Google when people are searching for specific keywords. So there's several levels of SEO. On a massive scale, you're looking at potentially international SEO. So that would be trying to get your website to rank all over the world. You've then got what many people just call SEO, and that would be potentially a sort of national campaign. So within your country, can you optimize your website to appear organically within your country? And then the final layer is local SEO. So local SEO is a lot of the same tactics, but the results are very much focused on increasing the prominence in your local area. So if somebody in your city or town is searching, you really want to make sure that you're appearing in your city and town at the very least. Then as your business grows, you can maybe look at kind of a national SEO campaign and then an international SEO campaign. But I would always recommend a good place to start is locally. Don't try and take over the world before you've even taken over your own city or town. I think you want to grow your business and expand your reach over time. Don't try and go straight in for international SEO. Start with local, build it out from there, and hopefully one day you'll be looking at international SEO campaigns. So for me, I'm a big fan of local SEO. It's an affordable and effective way to reach new customers and increase your sales. So in the last couple of videos, we've talked a lot about Google AdWords. So Google AdWords is a fantastic tool, but what it requires is to spend some of your hard-earned money on marketing budgets because you have to pay for the click. Whereas local SEO, you can not spend your money, but spend your time. And for a smaller local business, I think sometimes investing time into something reduces the risk, because if you set up an AdWords campaign and start spending thousands of pounds, with AdWords it takes quite a lot of initial upfront investment to get the campaigns working. You don't always just turn an AdWords campaign on and it starts generating leads. You have to gather learnings, develop the campaigns, optimize the campaigns, and that, to be honest, can take quite a bit of investment up front. In the long run, they're fantastic, but the short term is you need to invest quite a bit of money to get your campaigns up and running. Whereas the local SEO, a couple of hours work can potentially bring some good results. A couple of hours work every week, a couple of hours work every month, the cumulative effect of that over a year can have a significant impact on your business, a positive impact on your business. So for me, it's an affordable and effective way to help you increase sales by reaching new customers. So why should we care about SEO? Why does local SEO matter? When implemented correctly, local SEO can help your business generate more leads and sales from your website. That's it. Every business needs new customers. SEO is a great way to acquire those new customers. Right, let's get into it. So, how to local SEO. So over the next 20 minutes or so, could be longer, could be less, we're going to look at 4 key areas. When looking at how to carry out local SEO, we're going to break it into 4 key areas. The first one is technical. We'll get into that a little bit later on. The second is the keywords on your website. The third will be Google reviews. And the fourth will be what we call backlinks. You may have heard of them already. If not, don't worry, we're going to explain it further down the line. So let's get into it. Technical issues. If you want your website to rank locally on Google, you need to make sure that it is technically sound. Technical SEO for me is like the foundations of a building. You need to have strong, sound foundations. Without those, the building could potentially fall over and crumble. And it's the same with a website. You need to have technically sound foundations on your website. So let's have a look at those. So every local business website needs to be indexable, error-free, multi-device compliant, well-structured and properly optimized. So how do you know if your website is technically sound? Well, the good news is there's some free tools out there. So one website that I would recommend is Website Grader. It's a fantastic online tool that generates personalised reports based on the following key metrics. So the performance of your website, the mobile readiness, the crawlability and the security. All you need to do is simply enter the URL of your website and an email address, and you will receive a report which grades your website with a score of 1 to 100, as well as some recommendations on what you should do next. So here's an example of one of those reports. So it tells you, for example, the second one down there, page speed. You need to speed up your website. So Google likes fast websites. It doesn't want to send people to a website that takes ages to load, or if you click a button and nothing happens. It's not a good user experience, and Google doesn't want to rank websites that gives its customers a poor user experience. So one of the recommendations there is to improve the speed of your website. So a lot of these might be quite new to you, and that's absolutely fine. But what I recommend is breaking it down into smaller chunks. So for example, page speed. Go away and research how to optimize your page speed. If you're using WordPress website, there's plenty of plugins to do that. There's other techniques like image resizing. Do you have a really large image on your website which is slowing down the page speed of your website? Go away, have a look at that. Research things in smaller chunks. And it's one of these things. If you're watching this video, these are the skills that you want to develop. It's going to take time to develop these skills. There's plenty of guides, tips, tutorials out there on how to do all of these. So carry out your technical SEO review using the Website Grader website. Create your to-do list, which is basically your list of recommendations on how to technically improve your website, and just start working through them one by one. Some of them will be quite easy, some of them will be quite hard, but it's worth doing and will benefit your business in the long run. So the second one is using locations in the website copy. So for many people, this is probably the easiest and quickest way to carry out some local SEO. As we've just seen, technical SEO, it's a little bit difficult sometimes, and it might require some additional learning and some more time developing the skills to fix those technical issues. So using locations in the website copy. So this is something that many people can do. And basically all it involves is the presence of a location plus a service on your website. So what I mean by that is, if I'm a marketing agency and my marketing agency is in Leeds and I want it to rank when somebody searches marketing agency in Leeds, I will generate the best results if my website has both the keyword marketing agency and Leeds on the website. If I didn't have the word Leeds on my website, it would probably still rank on local searches. But to make it rank higher, I want to actually put that location in my ad copy. So let's have a look at a couple of examples now. So this is an example of a page on our website which ranks when somebody searches for Bing Ads Agency Leads. So you'll see here that on our website we have the word leads scattered throughout the website, and that's going to help us rank organically for that keyword. Also, if you see here, the meta description and page titles, something else you might have come across before in terms of SEO, I'd recommend optimizing those with your location keywords. So here, when you search Bing PPC Agency Leads, there's a Google ad at the top there, but underneath that is our company's search engine result. So Bing PPC Agency Leads, as a Bing PPC agency based in Leeds. So again, we are putting the service that we offer plus the location as a keyword. Facebook ads leads is another one. I don't think we're quite number one, but we're up there. So here, Facebook ads agency in Leeds. So we're looking at our keyword plus location. So in effect, it's as simple as that. You need to have the service that you're offering plus the location that you're offering that service to. So how do you know what keywords to put on your website? Obviously, the location keyword is pretty straightforward. If you're in London, it's going to be London. If you're in Miami, it's going to be Miami. If you're in Tokyo, it's in Tokyo. So that's quite easy. But what about the keywords that people are looking for your service? Digital marketing agency in Leeds is obviously one for us. But what about digital marketing services in Leeds? Digital marketing expert in Leeds? There's normally quite a few keywords that you would actually want to appear for. So what you have to do to find those keywords is carry out keyword research. So keyword research is one of the most important elements of SEO. It will help you understand the keywords that people are searching for to find your services online. Having your site optimized for the correct keywords is the first step to getting your website found on Google. So my recommendation is to find out what keywords people are searching for and make sure you are targeting the right keywords on your website, and then layering that with additional location keywords. So the best tool to use for keyword research is the Google Keyword Planner. It's a free tool provided by Google to help website owners understand what keywords people are searching for to find products and services online. So in this video, I'm not going to go into how to carry out keyword research. I have another video for that. So if you want to learn how to carry out keyword research, check out that video on our channel. Okay, so we've talked about technical SEO, how to highlight the problems, where to go to find out what the problems are, and how to create a list of recommendations to fix your technical issues. We've looked at making sure that on your website you include the service that you're offering, which is what people are searching for, plus your location. And the next one is Google reviews. So according to Moz's local search engine ranking factors, online reviews are thought to make up around 10% of how Google and other search engines decide to rank the search results. So businesses can improve their marketing and their local SEO through the use of online reviews and testimonials. So with local SEO, essentially you're trying to carry out actions on your website to manipulate the search results page so that your website climbs up the rankings and appears as high as possible in a Google search result. So it's almost like sometimes the better the SEO that you do, the higher that you rank. It doesn't always mean that you are the best company. There could be quite a good company further down the list, but they just haven't been carrying out any SEO. So Google recognised this, and what it's kind of added into the SEO algorithm to try and fix this is a sort of social proof element. So that's why it looks at reviews. It says, it's not just the keywords on a page, it's not just the technical elements of the website, but if there's a website there that's been positively reviewed and it's a company that's got loads of 5-star reviews, that is a good company. If it is a good company, I want to rank it on the search results page so that other customers can find good companies. So that's why reviews matter. So how do you get Google reviews? So before asking customers to leave reviews for your business, there's a couple of things that you need to do. So let's have a look at a few live searches here. Okay, So here's a search result on our brand Bidmark, and as you can see here, we've got our 10 Google reviews here, all 5-star that I'm proud to say. So in terms of reviews on Google, for your business, why not try and start off just trying to get 5 or 10 Google reviews? As you've seen, we rank quite well in our local area, and that's just with 10 reviews. If you get 20 or 30, it's only going to add to your marketing. Okay, so here's a search result page for our Bidmark agency, and as you can see here, this is where our Google reviews are shown on our brand searches here. So what this is called is Google My Business. So for local SEO, I'd recommend setting up a Google My Business account. What Google My Business is good for is not only Google reviews, but it puts you on the map. So if you see here, this pin that appears, and other local businesses around here, these are all Google My Business accounts. So we say here, Head of Steam, the bar across the road from us, just there, 654 Google reviews, which is pretty good. And that's how you get a pin on the map. So once you're pinned on the map as well, Google knows that you're based in that area. Without a Google My Business pin, you could put on your website, we're based in Leeds, but without the pin, Google's going to be a little bit doubtful of that. What it wants to know is that you actually are in Leeds, and the way you do that is register your account with a Google My Business account. So once you've created an account, you need to enter the location of your business, and then Google will send a postcard to that business with a PIN number on. You put that PIN number into your Google My Business account, and then you've activated the account. After that, you will start to see your Google My Business card appear next to your brand searches, just here. And then once you've set that up, you can then ask customers to leave reviews. So to leave a review, the customer clicks here where your reviews are. At the top it says write a review here, and you can write the review there. I'm also pretty sure you can send them this URL, and they'll come straight to this page where they can just leave the review, which is probably a little bit easier. So as we've mentioned, Google reviews can positively affect your Google rankings. They'll also help you appear on this map result that you sometimes see on local searches. So there's 2 reasons there to do it. A third and a fourth reason are to do with the conversion factor. So we've already talked about how creating a Google My Business account, getting yourself set up on Google Maps, getting reviews for your business all helps with your rankings on Google. But it's not just the rankings, it'll also help conversions as well. It will also help generate website customers into leads, because not only do they see that you are offering the services in their local area, but they also see that you have positive reviews. On the flip side, imagine if someone came onto your website and saw 100 1-star reviews, you'd be in big trouble. The opposite of that is 100 5-star reviews. When people see a highly recommended company, it's going to help them convert into a customer for your business. So it's not just a ranking factor, but it's a conversion factor. It's converting it's converting website traffic into customers. So it can help you stand out on the search results page amongst your competition and help influence potential customers as they move through the buying journey. So with reviews, honesty is the only policy. Don't buy reviews, don't create fake accounts and leave reviews. Just keep it simple, keep it honest. Ask customers that are happy with your service for a review. So there's no kind of in-depth strategies here. It's just a person-to-person, being nice, doing good work, and asking for reviews. So if you've got any customers that are really happy with your services, or any customers that you have a good relationship with, ask them. Just let them know why you're doing it. You want to help. You want to try and grow your business. It's a bit of a marketing thing. Can you please just leave us a couple of good Google reviews? It'll really help you out. And if you've done a good job for them and you've helped them, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help you back. Don't try and get too many reviews at once on any platform. If you go out today and you get 100 reviews on the 1st of January, and then you never get any for the rest of the year, they look a little bit outdated. It's best if you can have a steady flow of reviews coming through. If I look at a company and I saw that it's been reviewed, but the last person reviewed it 5 years ago, it's going to look. I'm also going to think the company's gone out of business or they're no longer good. What is the best thing is if somebody comes through to your business and sees a couple of recent, really highly recommended reviews. That's the optimal sort of approach to that. So don't try and get too many reviews at once. Ask a few customers today. Maybe create a list of customers that you can ask another day, and just spread them out if possible. Okay, so the next strategy for local SEO is what I've got here as citations. Citations are essentially profiles for your business on websites across the internet. And the reason why they're important is what you want these to include is your name, address, and phone number. So you can go onto your website again and you can put, I work at London Central, Covent Gardens, and my office is number 1, Covent Gardens. So I could put that there, and Google's going to crawl our website and find our address, but it wants to verify our address. So 2 ways that it verifies the address is 1, Google My Business, as we've talked about already, and number 2 would be to look at other websites on the web which contain your address, and what it wants to see is consistency across all those profiles. So for example, if one profile said we're based in Leeds and the other one said we're based in London, that's inconsistent. Google's going to say, well, that says you're in Leeds, that says you're in London, I don't know where you are, I'm not going to rank you in either area. So yeah, with anything local, it's important that the name, address and phone number is the same across all of the local directories and listings and profiles that you have set up for your business. If there are any discrepancies, this can be detrimental to your local SEO. So again, another tool which I'd really recommend is this Moz tool, which checks your name, address and phone number across the website. So if you go to moz.com/local, put in your business name and a couple more details there and run the tool, it's going to bring you back some results. Run the tool, it's going to bring you back a report on where your profiles are set up. It's going to tell you where the inconsistencies are so you can go and fix them. And it's also great because it's going to give you a couple of websites where you're not set up, and then you can go away and set up a profile on those websites. So this is what we call the 1-2 punch of local SEO. Get found and get picked. So get found, optimize your website, make it technically sound, set up your profiles and on the directories and set up your citations so that you appear more visible. And getting picked, making sure that your content is, as we mentioned, high quality, emotive, compelling content, and you've got some really good reviews. So you're a highly recommended company, and it's that 1-2 punch of getting found and getting picked. So onto the final strategy now. Build up your links. So at the beginning of the talk, we mentioned about backlinks. These are links. So backlinks are links to your website on other websites across the internet. So for example, if you have a Facebook profile, does it link through to your website? If you have an Instagram profile, does it link through to your website? If you have listings in the local directories, make sure that they link through to your website. Do you have any news coverage? Have you been in the press recently? Can you link through to your website? Any opportunity to add a link to your website, I would strongly recommend. So with links, it's about quality and not quantity. But quite often, if you kind of come across an opportunity, whether that's a bit of news article, getting onto somebody else's blog, they're normally quite okay. You can actually get bad backlinks, but I think you're really going to have to go out of your way and kind of maybe look at buying some backlinks, which is a big no-no. Setting up a fake website to put a link on, that's a no-no. So generally, anything you kind of come across in your day-to-day life, it's probably going to be worth getting a link on that website if you can. So where can we find links? How do we get links? I'm going to show you a quick strategy here. Building up backlinks is quite an in-depth topic which we'll probably cover off in another video, but there are a few quick wins that you can carry out in terms of building your links. So one thing to start off with is the social media profiles, your Facebooks, your LinkedIn, your Instagrams. So with Google, it likes to see a social media presence for a company as well. So again, it's going back to that whole, Google it wants to see social proof. So you can optimize your website, but it likes to also see that you have reviews and a social media presence, maybe a following on there, some followers, you're active on social media. It just gives a bit more credibility to the business, and Google likes credible businesses being ranked on its search results. So firstly, if you have a Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn account, can you set up some links on there? That's normally quite easy to do. So another strategy I do is to look at what links your competitors have. If your competitors have a link, I'd always try and recommend that you have the same link, because that way it levels the playing field. They're not going to rank higher up than you because they've got more links than you. If you've all got the same, it's even Stevens, and then you can beat them by getting more links than them, or better website content, a couple of other strategies. But yeah, you want to try and make sure that they're not winning on any sort of area, in any sort of field. So how do you find out your competitors' backlinks? So there are some paid tools out there that you can use, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to show you a free way to find out what links your competitors have. So if you go to Google and search your competitor's name, have a look at the websites that rank underneath their website. So for example of this, I've got a company here, Norton Plumbing, just a company near me that I've come across in my local area. So you'll see that at the top they have nortonplumbing.co.uk, that's their website. But then underneath you'll start to see other websites. So for example, yell.com and plumbingcentral.co.uk, which is like a directory for plumbers. ratedpeople.com, and there's their facebook.com. We've already talked about social links. So what this says to me is there's yell.com, plumbercentral.co.uk and ratedpeople.com. There's three websites that if I was a plumber, I can go away and I can create some profiles on there and set up my links on that website, linking back to my website. And it's easy as that. So yeah, do that over one competitor. Maybe try another 10 competitors in your local area, but not just your local area. Just try kind of any competitor across the country, and have a look at what links they've got and what profiles they've got set up on other websites, and have that as a starting point for your backlink portfolio. Okay, time to conclude the talk on local SEO. So what you can feel confident about is that all of the above steps represent efforts you are making to put your brand out there for the consideration of your potential customers. And the golden opportunity for local businesses is that the competition is limited by specific geography. So if you're trying to compete internationally, there's thousands of companies to compete with. If you're trying to compete nationally, there could be thousands again, down to the hundreds. But locally, if you're a plumber, there may be only 10, 20 plumbers in your local area, so it's less competitive. Obviously the amount of customers in your area is less than there is in the whole of the country, granted, but the steps you can take to get to the top of the search results in your local area are a lot less than compared to if you want to do it internationally. So there's less competition in your local area, which makes it a great reason to get involved and try and be the number one in your area. You don't have to compete against the whole world. So be in the right place at the right time, paired with great service, and your local business has every chance of succeeding. So what I wanted to leave you with now is a sort of to-do list, a sort of action list. What next? So I'm going to break it down into the areas that we just talked about, and then I want you to aim to try and get achieve these 4 things, and then if you do, I'm pretty sure your local SEO will be much better. So the first one is reviews. I want to target you to get 5 reviews. Then the next one is the business citation. So using the Moz tool, I want you to clean up your citation portfolio. So put your website into the tool, have a look at what it's telling you to do, tick them all off, get them done. The next one is keywords. I want you to update your homepage content. I want you to look at your homepage and see, does it have your local SEO keywords in? Does it contain your location? If not, put them in there. And then finally, I want you to try and get 10 backlinks. So are there any articles written about you? Can you do a LinkedIn post, local press, the competitor review? Look at those strategies that we mentioned earlier on and try and get 10 backlinks. And if you can get 5 reviews with a clean business citation and some good keywords on your website and 10 backlinks, I'm sure you'll be seeing a much better results than you're seeing now. Carry out that work, and then 4 weeks later, have a look at your Google Analytics. So we've not really talked about Google Analytics in this talk, but it's so important you've got Google Analytics set up on your website. What it shows you is how many visitors are on your website. So you can go in there and you can say, right, how many visitors am I getting from SEO? You can then benchmark that, carry out the actions from this talk, and then give it 4 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, and then check back. And what you want to see is more visitors coming through from SEO search results page. So yeah, Google Analytics and tracking is a big thing. You don't want to do the work and not know what you're getting back for it. Whereas with Google Analytics, you can put the work in and you can see what you're getting back out the other side. So really important and something to have a look at. So guys, hope you liked that video. If you've got any questions, please subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment below, and I'll be happy to respond to anything and I can help out where possible. I love helping local businesses out. I get such satisfaction from putting in the work in and enjoying the results out the other side, and I'm sure it's something that you want to look into too. That's it for the SEO video. Don't forget to check out all our other videos on our channel. We've got loads on AdWords, and my next video that I'm going to produce is around Google Data Studio, which is a reporting feature. So I just mentioned there about Google Analytics, about you put the work in, you want to know what you're getting out, and that's why I think this Google Data Studio video is going to be really helpful, because it's going to allow you to build marketing reports that you can track your main stats, so the amount of website visitors, the amount of inquiries, your position on the search engines, all those important metrics that you should be looking at if you wanted to improve your digital marketing. So that's the next video. Look out for that. I'll see you again soon.